Hey everybody, hang on for just a second while I tend to a few things. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I'm just trying to get the comments to come up here, so bear with me for just a few minutes. There we go. Okay, hey everybody, I am Jamie Shahan, owner and creator of Teal Lollipops Wreaths. I create beautifully handcrafted, elegant, and whimsical wreaths for the holidays and for all of the seasons, winter, spring, summer, fall. Thank you everybody for joining me. Louise from Alabama. Who else is here? Audra Carr from Fayetteville, North Carolina. Philip. Hey, Philip. I remember you from the other day from Virginia. It's not your first time. I saw you the other day. Ronnie from South Carolina. Amy from Arkansas. You guys, thank you so much for joining. We're going to have some fun tonight. What we're going to do is a sort of a rustic Christmas wreath. And this is a special order from a girl that I work with, a nurse that I work with. Hey, Cheryl from California. Cheryl, I didn't know you were in California. Cheryl, are you the one that told me about, what is the name of that wreath place that sells the candy? Hi, Mom. Hi, Kim. Kim Stokes from Arkansas. Where are you from in Arkansas, Kim? Anyway, this is a special order wreath from a nurse friend of mine that I work with. And she is a nurse, but she's also raises cattle. And so she saw this cow sign, and we were scrolling through Etsy looking at signs, and this is the one she picked, and so this is the one we're going to do. Yes, Cheryl, Wreaths of Joy. That, girlfriend, that is my new obsession. That place, that Wreaths of Joy shop. You guys check that place out. I won't buy my mesh or most of my ribbon. I will not buy there, but the embellishments that they have for wreaths is unbelievable, and I can't wait to buy some stuff there. I've been looking for the little Volkswagen car, and lo and behold, Wreaths of Joy has it. So I'm tickled to death. Okay, so this is the sign. Let me show you some of the embellishments that I've chosen to go with it. Found these little skates. I think they're going to go on there. That'll be cute. Some holly berries. So one of the things that my friend and I discussed was she found the red bird or robin ribbon or cardinal ribbon that she liked, and we were going to do cardinals, but then she found this sign and she wanted this, but then there, lo and behold, there's a little cardinal in the tree, so I am going to use the cardinal ribbon after all. I've got some pine cones that I'm going to use for embellishments, some little acorns, got a little red bird in a nest, and then some ornaments. So I'm going to put that aside. Let me show you the ribbon. So this is the ribbon that I've chosen for this wreath. This is a burlap ribbon, and that's pretty darn country, so we're going to go with that. It's the perfect color for this sign, so we're going to go with that. And then we've got this cardinal ribbon, which is what my friend originally chosen. And then, so I've paired it with this ribbon. So those are my four. So you're going to choose two 1.5 inch ribbons, and you're going to choose two 2.5 inch ribbons. And you're going to coordinate those to whatever your inspiration piece is. And this was the inspiration piece, and so that's what I've purchased to coordinate with this sign. Now these are, so I'm going to be doing a 21 inch burlap mesh on a burlap colored elevated work wreath form. And these are the mesh that I've chosen as accent colors. Just a basic teal, or excuse me, a basic green, a hunter green, 10-inch. This was some fabric deco mesh. It's ribbon mesh is what it says. And I got this from Hobby Lobby in their fall section. And this is really, really cute deco mesh. And then I've got a red check buffalo plaid. I got that from Michael's. So we'll put this aside and we'll get started. Hey, Todd. Hey, Christy. Thank you. Hey, Kasha. Kasha, I'm working on your stuff. I've got some really pretty things planned for yours. So we'll have to talk because I've got some ideas I need to run by you. All right, so this is a 15-inch elevated work wreath form. We've got 10 ties on the bottom. And we've got 8 ties on the top. That's usually how it is. So let me just, I didn't prep this ahead of time, so let me pull all these up. This elevated work wreath form I got from Craft Outlet. You can't hardly find the work wreath forms with these colored ties. Usually Craft Out or Hobby Lobby and Michael's will have seasonal, and they'll have gold and silver and green, but they hardly ever have the colors. So I'm just going to verify. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 18. So 10 on the bottom and 8 on the top. So here we go. Let's get started. Hi, Todd. You're awesome for joining. All right, so this is burlap mesh. This is country. Usually a lot of summer wreaths are made with this, but it is a good foundation for almost any season or almost any style of wreath that you're making. The beige burlap is a good foundation for it. So it's kind of uneven here, but I don't care about that because this is just the starting point. So we're just going to gather it here first. Pick a place to start. Just pick anywhere. It doesn't matter. And tie it down. So now I'm going to zip tie it in place. If anybody knows a good place to buy zip ties, cheap, other than Hobby Lobby, y'all let me know. Christy, you might know. So I will, when I turn that over, I'll cut that off. I'm not going to cut it off. So 21-inch mesh, and we're going to do 10-inch poofs. So you can eyeball it or you can measure it. It doesn't really matter. I'll probably just measure it just for the sake of the video, but normally I just eyeball it. So that's 20. So I'm holding my tie here at the 10-inch mark on this board, and I'm just pulling out to the 20. Hi, Michelle. So with regular pipe cleaners, so somebody put those pipe cleaners on there, Michelle. So the ties that you get on these are pretty substantial. They're really not like pipe cleaners at all. They're kind of like pine needles. All right, so 10-inch poofs, attach it, and then go ahead and fluff it out, and then move on to the next one. So you can do your own ties on work wreath forms that you can get from the Dollar Tree. They're not elevated like this, and sometimes that's desirable. If you've got somebody who's trying to put a wreath between a storm door and their front door, you don't want it real tall. And so making your own would be a desirable thing to do. And it is very simple. And I will show you how to do that. But you can spend $1 at Dollar Tree and pennies for your chenille ties, your pipe cleaners. They're also called chenille ties in the business, in case y'all didn't know. I didn't know that when I first started. It's like, what the heck are they talking about, chenille ties? Chenille stems. Harbor Freight. Okay, yeah, I'll check out Harbor Freight. I haven't been there in a really long time. It's time. It's time for me to go back. Michelle, I'm making my first mesh wreath today. Yay! Are you doing the witch legs, Michelle? You said you had everything for that. Awesome. Get on it, girl. Exciting and kind of scary trying to get inspiration from me. Yes, come on, get inspiration from me. I'm going to be starting a group before too long, but I'm going to get through the holidays first. I'm going to be starting a business group and or a design group. I'm not quite sure which one. So Todd said the cheap zip ties. Cheap as in inexpensive, not cheap as in poor quality, won't hold anything, gonna break on me, right? Man, there are some crafters out there who are hardcore on what they like. And so like for hot glue, there are some crafters out there who will only use Gorilla hot glue. Well, I didn't even know there was a such thing as Gorilla hot glue. But evidently, after you've had a few things fall off in transit, you'll spend the extra money for Gorilla hot glue. What did Philip say? I missed that. Thank you for answering him, Cheryl. Oh, must have been something else. Something I don't know about. All right, so we're almost done with this bottom. And then when we're done with the bottom, we'll jump up to the top. Oh, crap. Hey, that whole thing, I just opened this up. And I didn't cut that off. That just, they pieced that together. So, oh well, no worries. So what I'll do here, I've never encountered that before where it just ended like that, or and they started, and I don't even know what to say about that. You'll see that in ribbons sometimes where they'll piece it together, but I've never seen it in mesh where you run out of mesh and so then they just add more to it and start over. So I'm gonna cut that off. Hey, the Wreaths of Joy, that is no joke. I'm so glad you told me about that. Let's see if I can cut this off. These scissors are crap. Let me get some more scissors. Yeah, y'all check out Wreaths of Joy. All right, let's finish off this bottom row. Oh, man. Holy cow. I'm messing up. I just like got my tie in there. Holy cow. Let's try that again. I turned that over and it was kind of at a strange angle. All right, let's try that again. I'm going to put that up here. All right, let's start this over. All right, so now I just need to do another gather here. Another zip tie. I'll just put this right here. I'm going to make that long enough. I'm going to put another zip tie. This thing is going to be zip tie heavy. Normally there's not nearly this many, but when they present you with a problem, you do what you got to do so that nothing falls apart. Okay. 2 more and then we'll jump up to the top row. I do love this burlap mesh, y'all. Although this is like real burlap. I've got little burlap fibers floating around everywhere. I think you can probably get a burlap beige look-alike. You're definitely seeing how I fix stuff, Amy. Yeah, this is live, unedited, for sure. Ah! Now I'm stuck. All right, now we're going to jump up to this top row, and I'm going to zip tie right before this tie here. So I'm going to gather it. I want my edges to be on the outside here, so I'm going to make sure that they're not rolled under, and I'm going to pull up to this top row, and, well, crap. I'm having all kinds of trouble tonight. Okay, y'all are seeing it all. Oh, yeah, thank you, Christy. She said she loves the country style. Okay, there's my edges on the outside, not rolled in there. Tighten that down. And I will clip that off when I flip this over. But in the meantime, let's just continue on. So, 10-inch poofs. So if you're just joining in, I am making a country Christmas wreath. It is a special order for a girlfriend that I work with. She is not only a nurse, but she and her family raise cattle. So originally she wanted cardinals because she saw some cardinal ribbon that I had. And then as I started scrolling through Etsy to show her signs that we might want to put on the wreath, she saw the cows. And, you know, the cows are super popular. And so she chose that. And lo and behold, in the sign on a pine tree is a cardinal. So I still get to use the cardinal ribbon. And I'm using some green burlap, so that's definitely country. So it's going to all tie in just fine. So the one thing I will say about this is, the one thing I would stay away from is glitter. I would stay away from glittery ribbon, glittery accessories. I mean, they'll work. They'll be fine if that's what you got and that's what you like. Then do a glammed up country. That'll work. But just make sure that it all ties in. Make sure you have more than one glittery thing. I like glam country. That'd be fine. But not everybody likes glitter. So my friend is not really a glittery type of gal. So we're avoiding it on hers. So you guys, tell me some things that you might like to see. So I've got a few people that keep coming back over and over, and I'm thrilled to death to see that. That means that I'm finally, you know, getting some reach, and I'm going to be able to teach a few things. So if there's something that anybody would like to know about, you guys comment on there and let me know. And we'll do it. I was talking to my cousin this afternoon, and you know, there is definitely a wreath that you can make and sell to your customers for every month of the year. So for January, you've got winter. For at the end of December, you can move into a winter wreath. February is Valentine's. March is St. Patrick's Day. March and April. March could be Easter, but April is Easter. If Easter is in March, then you could do spring in April. May is patriotic for Memorial Day. June would be summer or beach theme, flip-flop wreaths or beach wreaths. July, of course, is 4th of July. Okay, one more. And let's see, where did it go? So let's fix this here. Last one. This particular burlap is really thick too. It's kind of giving me fits. I'll undo this. All right, fluff it. So I'm going to cut this a little bit long so that I can tuck it down in there and zip tie it. Roll this back up and get rid of it. And another zip tie. So I'm going to take this to the middle between the two layers. I'm going to flip it over. We're going to zip tie this right here. Pull these really tight. Now let's clip them off. So what are you guys working on? What kind of wreaths are y'all working on? All right, there's that. So let me put a few things in here, you guys. So here's a link to my Etsy shop. You guys, here is a link to my, Here's a link to my Pinterest page. And then here is a link to my YouTube channel. So after, after I do this, where did that go? There's the YouTube. There's the Etsy. So after I do this video, I try to upload them. I do a little editing, and then I'm gonna upload them to the YouTube. So if you've missed anything and you need to go back, then you'll be able to go back to it. All right, so now we're going to add the 10-inch mesh. I'm going to again do the woodland ruffle. And so the woodland ruffle is you start to roll at both ends. And then you scrunch it together, meet in the middle, and that's your woodland ruffle. So start anywhere on your wreath and tie it to those very same ties. Elaine, you're trying to set up your shop? Yeah. So focus now on Christmas, if you have the product to make Christmas. And, you know, the thing that I've learned the most is that you have to be 3 months ahead. And I am not 3 months ahead. I am behind for Christmas. So 3 months out from when the holiday is here, your shop should be packed full of your wreaths for that particular season. And I was told this, but it's just something that until you experience it and you see the traffic and how it flows, and when they start to look for product, especially this year with COVID and people not going out, they're doing a lot more online, so they're looking sooner. So you have to be 3 months ahead. So work on that Christmas, friend. So I started in November of last year, and I mistakenly was making as the seasons came along, and I could not figure out why in the heck I was not getting any sales. Well, first of all, if they're looking 3 months in advance and they go to your shop, you need to have quite a selection. If you've only got a few things in there, it's probably just going to move on. And second of all, you've got to give them some variation. You have to give them a lot to choose from, and you have to give them a lot of different price points. So somebody may be able to buy a $250 wreath. I can't. And some people may only be able to buy an $80 wreath. So you kind of have to cover all the price points. And then after you've been in business a bit, or if you have already been in business a bit, you know what your customers like. So you know more about what price ranges that you need. And so the first thing you should do, anybody who's starting their Etsy shop, the first thing you should attempt to do is get 50 listings. Oh, good. I'm answering your question, Lane. It just popped up. So the first thing you should work toward is 50. And then any good business coach will then tell you, okay, great, you've got 50, now I want you to get 100. And then any good business coach will tell you, now that you've got 100, I want 200. So somewhere between 100 and 200 is what you need in your shop. And once you get your business rolling, you might not have to keep that many in there once you get it rolling. However, the reason you need so many is because that's the way the algorithm works. The Etsy computer, it thinks you're serious when you've got more than 100 items in your shop, and it starts showing your items to more people. So work for 50, and then shoot for 100, and then shoot for 200. So I don't have that many in my shop. I was just reaching 100, and then the fourth quarter hit, and everybody calls it the fourth quarter crunch, and luckily for me, I started getting sales, but I can't keep up. I can't make it and sell it and build the numbers in my shop. So I'm just doing the best I can. I'm just making a way, putting it out there. I'll get there. But I mean, you don't want it to stay at 200, right? You want it to sell. You want it to build up and go down and build up and go down. Okay, so I'm going to have two right here together, and that's okay. It's no big deal, but I'm going to skip this one for right now, and I'm going to jump up to this top row. And whatever color that I have left over that looks best there will be the one that I put there. So when you're making wreaths, you're always going to have the exact ribbon next to each other or the exact mesh next to each other. In the grand scheme of things, once you get all your stuff on there, it's not going to matter. Because nobody's going to notice it. Nobody's going to say, oh my gosh, look at that. She's got two ribbons identical right next to each other. Nobody's going to give two hoots about it. Only you. Hey, Catherine. Catherine, where are you joining us from? Elaine, where are you from? Okay, so for those who are just joining, I'm Jamie Shahan, owner and creator of Teal Lollipops Wreaths. And I make handcrafted, elegant, and whimsical wreaths. I do mostly deco mesh. That is my thing. I love deco mesh. I do grapevines as well. But I love deco mesh. I do have an Etsy shop. It's called Teal Lollipops Wreaths, and it's in the listing. I have a Facebook page, which is where you guys are watching me now, of course. And then I have a YouTube channel that I'm starting. So if you miss anything, you can come back and see it on the YouTube channel. From Florida. Awesome. So what's the name of your shop, Elaine? Let's do the green. You guys, if you have an Etsy shop, post your shop here. Let's all take a look at it. You might get some sales. Hi, Diane. Glad you came back. All right, we're almost done with this, and then we'll move on to the ribbon. Inspired by my angel CLM. Aw, that's cute. Makes you wonder who your angel is. So my name is Teal Lollipops, or Lollipops really is what I wanted it to be originally. But a lot of there is a candy shop out there who has the lollipop, so I didn't think I could just use that. And I didn't think in time to just put Lollipops Wreaths, so I thought I would just add my favorite color to it. So the story behind Lollipops, and you probably have all heard this a lot because I tell it almost every time. My grandbabies call me Lolly, and they call my husband Pops. And when I knew we were going to be grandparents, I didn't want, we already have a grandma, we already have a Gigi, we already have a Meemaw, a grandmommy. We've got it all covered. So I wanted something cute and something different. And a nurse friend of mine that I worked with, she had some patients who were clients who were patients of hers, and they were called Lolly and Pops. And I said, that's it. That's going to be my name, Lollipops. And so when I started designing for Christmas and for Thanksgiving and Easter, I wanted this whimsical Lollipops Easter and Lollipops Christmas. And so I started searching Pinterest like crazy to come up with ideas to create fantastical wonderlands for my grandbabies. And then I kind of caught the bug, and so here I am. And I knew I had to start an Etsy shop if I was going to pay for my addiction to ribbon. And so I started an Etsy shop, and the name had to be Lollipop something. So here I am, Teal Lollipops. Okay, so we're going to start with the ribbon next. Aw. Oh, thank you, Diane. You didn't miss much, honey. We just did the, on the base, we did the burlap 21-inch, 10-inch poof, the usual thing. I am going to stop doing 21-inch poof, you guys. I'm going to do some 10-inch mesh instead of the 21-inch mesh, and show y'all some of that the next time we get together. So I did the burlap 21-inch, 10-inch poofs, and then the 3 colors of 10-inch mesh. So now we're starting with, you'll discover that there is a recipe that's pretty much followed once you figure out what your style is, and this is kind of my style, and this is my recipe almost every time. So this is 12-inch ribbon that I have dovetailed the ends, and so you take a 2.5 and a 1.5 and you put it on top of each other. You eyeball it, find the center, and squish it together. And what I do, everybody does something a little bit differently here. I turn mine in a V, and then I will cup the wings like bird wings. And now you just start placing them on the ties where you've put all of your mesh ties. Just like that. Hi, Joanne. Girl, you've had a week. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate you. Thank you, Elaine. You're awesome. I appreciate that. All right, next is the Redbird ribbon. Love this ribbon. I think it's so adorable. I hate to cover it up with this 1.5 inch ribbon though. But, oh well, it'll show. And just move on down the line from tie to tie. So when I do my tails, I put all of my tails toward the outside of my wreath. There will come a point when you are adding your embellishments or your sign or whatever it is, and you will see that you may have a place that looks bare. So I'm going to jump up here to the top real quick and show you what I'm about to tell you. So if you do, let's say you've put this on here, and I've got my sign here, and let's say I've got a bare spot. I start out with it coming toward the outside, but then if I need to cover something, I can always switch that around. And I can always make an X out of it. Some people, this is how they do their mesh or their ribbons every time. They'll do the X. And that is pretty too. This will work as well. But for me personally, I start out with it in a V shape and coming out toward the side because I like the way it looks all pushing that direction. All right, so let's continue on here. And I've already made the bow, you guys, so I'm not going to be making the bow this evening. I made it ahead of time so that we could get this done. But if you want to see me making more bows, then I'll be happy to do that. So the burlap ribbon is a little bit more difficult to work with because it is so thick. But still, you just work it like regular ribbon. You don't do anything differently. But I do like the burlap ribbon. First of all, it's country and it fits the theme of this wreath. But second of all, burlap is stiff and burlap will hold its shape. And so when I made my ribbon, my bow rather, I used the burlap at the very first thing. I used it at the back so that it would help maintain the shape of my bow. Okay, so Diane is asking, do you have to put a sign in the middle of the wreath? You don't have to put a sign in your wreath at all if you don't want to. Not at all. Matter of fact, a lot of wreath makers these days do use signs, but a lot of grapevine wreaths, you don't need a sign at all in a grapevine wreath. And the same goes for the deco mesh. You don't have to have a sign at all. That's just kind of my thing. That's what I like. That's how I started learning. And so I've just kept it up. But if you want like some lower price point items in your shop, well, don't spend $14 on a sign. Just go right for, the pretty ribbon and the mesh and be done with it. Some people might even buy your wreaths so that they can embellish them. Some people don't know how to make bows, so they'll buy what you've made for them and then they'll decorate them up. So as far as the sign goes, if you choose you like a sign, you can put it in the center or you can put it on the side. You can put it straight. You can put it crooked. Oh yeah, I need to show y'all my candy cane or the candy nutcracker that I finished embellishing. But a sign is, you don't have to have a sign, and you can put it just about anywhere on the wreath. Signs usually come either 8-inch round or 12-inch round, or they have the square ones or the rectangular ones like I have. The 12-inch round almost fit perfectly in the center of that wreath, but you don't have to put it there. You can put it up toward the top. I tend to put my signs toward the top if it's a big round, or any of them. I put them toward the top, and I'll put the bow down at the base, or I'll skew them to the side, and I'll balance it over here with the bow on the side. And after you've done a few, you will discover that you have your own style. And you can open up Etsy shops and look at wreaths on Etsy shops, and you can definitely tell people's style. Because they may always put their bow in the same place or their sign in the same place. This is going to be really cute. So one of the mistakes that I made when I very first started doing this was I'm a very matchy-matchy type person. And I made the cutest, and it's still in my Etsy shop, y'all. I made the cutest beach-themed wreath. But I got so matchy-matchy that when you look at that beach wreath, all you see is blue. You don't see any variations in color. And so what I like about this wreath is you see the green, and you see the red, and you see the beigey colors and the white. So when you attach the sign, how secure is it without squishing the wreath? So I'll show you. It is as loose or as tight as you want it to be. So I purchased a sign that had holes already drilled in it, and I took a pipe cleaner and put it in there and twisted it. And so as you put it on your sign, or your sign on your wreath, and you feed your pipe cleaners down through there, you can have it sitting up loosely like this, or you can have it sitting down, nestled down in there. It just depends upon how tight you pull these pipe cleaners down through the wreath and into the base. It's, for me, so far, it works better if it is somewhere in the middle. Not too tight, not too loose, just right. Because you don't want to squish it too far down, because then all your ribbons kind of stick up like this. And you don't want it too high up, because then there's going to be movement. So you'll figure it out. It's got to be somewhere in the middle. Kind of like Goldilocks. Just right. So another thing I didn't tell you guys about, and I meant to tell you, this particular ribbon here, it's adorable, isn't it? But it is very flimsy. And so this particular ribbon, I did not dovetail, because it doesn't have enough substance to it to keep these edges from curling up and just getting lost. So I left it as a straight cut. The thinner and the more flimsy the ribbon, you probably need to not dovetail it. You're welcome, Ronnie. You guys ask me any questions you want. If you guys ever want to DM me too, if you need any help with anything, y'all just feel free to do that. I'll be happy to help you. We're almost done with this ribbon. And this is going to be really cute. What I was telling you earlier is there's a lot of variation in color. And when you, if you were to squint your eyes and look at this wreath, you would not just see one color like you would on my beach theme wreath in my Etsy shop. If you were to squint your eyes and look at that, then you would see blue, and that's it. And when you squint your eyes and look at this, you see 3 different colors. You see green, red, and beige. Or 4 different colors. You see the white too. Okay, so there's that. here is my bow that I made to go with it. It's of the same material. We've got the burlap. We've got the cardinals, the polka dots, and the stripes. So I didn't really try, the cardinals are going left to right. They're not going up and down. So I didn't try to keep them all going the same direction. I just made the wreath, the bow, like I normally do. So when I do my wreaths, I normally always will put the sign at the top and the bow at the bottom. That's my style. Or I'll put the sign on the side and the bow on the side. You don't want to ever line up the tops, because that, you can just look at it like that and you can tell that there's something wrong. You want to balance it out. Now, you would say that that's balanced, but it's really not. So you want one higher than the other. It's kind of like when you're decorating your mantle. You want variations in height of your candles and of your greenery. You don't want it to be one straight line across. Same thing goes with making wreaths. You want some variations in height. So let's go ahead and put this sign in here. And I have to tell you guys that I oftentimes will put my signs in here, and then I'll take them out and move them. And I'll move them again, and I'll move them again until I get it just right. Because once you start trying to figure out where you're going to place all of your embellishments, something ultimately is not going to look right to you, and so then you'll start to try to move things around. So don't be disheartened when you think that just does not look right. Just move it. Nothing is permanent. So I'm going to flip this over, and I'm going to tie this here. I'm going to loosely tie this until I figure out exactly where I want it. I'm just going to wind this pipe cleaner around this wire base for now. Okay, so it's not squished down in there, and it's not so loose that I think it's going to move around too much. All right, so I'm going to turn this around so I can see it, y'all. All right, so I'm going to put my bow about right here. So here's one of those times. I'm going to twist these around where I've got that going that direction and this one going over here, because I'm going to put my bow here, and there's no point in not seeing this ribbon. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to move it around so I can see it. Yes, the sign is adorable. Thank you. I got that off of Etsy. Just was scrolling through the signs for my girlfriend, and came across that one. It says, "Cowbells ring. Are you listening?" And she's a cattle farmer in her spare time. I don't know when she has spare time, but that burlap is making me want to sneeze. All right, so I'm going to turn this around so I can see it real quick, y'all. Okay, so there's that. So now we will look at embellishments. So I've got the little cardinal in the nest. So I'm not real crazy about the greenery. I may take that off, I don't know. But I don't need this part, so I'm going to take it off. I'm not quite sure where I'll put it. Maybe somewhere like right there. So I've got these holly berries. So when you get your greenery or your picks, just kind of spread them out a little bit before you put them in so you can see what they look like. And you can get more surface area filled. That's cute. I should have taken all these price tags over here first, but I didn't. So we're going to pretend I did, you guys. So spread them out. Get the full effect of it. They don't have to be flat on one plane. You can pull some forward, backwards, it doesn't matter. Just, you know. You could even cut every one of these into separate pieces if you wanted. So the first thing I do is stick them all in there, and then once I figure out where I want them, then I'll come back and cut off. I'll cut off those extra long stems. So this is kind of all I have of these. So I may end up having to cut these so that I can, because half of this has disappeared underneath this mesh. So I may come back and take these off after all and use them individually. But for now, this will give you an idea of where I'm going. And this is exactly how I start. I'll start placing things whole like that. Yeah, see, that's definitely going to have to be cut. So I think maybe I'll cut it right here. And then I've got two pieces. That burlap has made my nose runny. So now I've got this piece. Y'all just ignore this sign, this price tag. I'll cut that off. So I usually go around the outside first. And kind of see what it looks like. I just kind of fan it out. I'm going to cut this here. Can't stand that. All right, so I think I need one up here. And I've got a few more. All right, let's cut this one down. So actually for each of these $1.99 picks, I'm getting two picks for the price of one. So I could even stuff one in here backwards and have it hanging down and toward the sign. Let's see what that looks like. Now I know it's going to stick out this other side, and I will come back and cut that off. Yeah, that's kind of cute. Yeah, I think I need another one over here on this side. Yeah. Yeah, that's really cute, you guys. Okay. Oh, man, it fell out. Okay. Well, you get the gist, even though it fell out. Okay, so I have these adorable ice skates. I've got some pine cones. So what I've done with the pine cones is I've taken and wrapped wire down into, I don't know what these are called, down in here. And then I will come in here and attach them. And I will run this wire just down into the wreath. And then I've got a few of these. I might just hook one somewhere, like right here. Glue that in place. That's cute. Okay, well, you get the gist, you guys. That's pretty much it. So I'll come through here and add some of these embellishments. I have pine cones. I have some adorable Christmas ornaments. And this has got a red and white knit over a plastic ball. Too cute, too cute. And that's pretty much it. What do you guys think? I really like these skates. I don't know if I want them there, but I'm going to try really hard to get them in here. And then, as usual, I don't have all the embellishments that I want. I really would like to find something cow-related. So, my friends, if anybody knows any cow-related stuff, let me know about it. Oh, thank you, Elaine. So, before I let you guys go, let me show you my candy nutcracker wreath that I finished. I haven't got it listed yet, but I'm ready to show you guys. I'm just going to sit this right on top. I probably need to pick that up. Let me see if I can move this, you guys. There we go. All right, there it is. That's the one we did last week or the week before. That's the candy nutcracker. I did go to Hobby Lobby and I ended up getting the big embellishments. I think it's adorable. I think it turned out really pretty. Okay, that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You guys... go over to my Pinterest page and join in there, and go to my Etsy shop and click that you like my shop, and to YouTube and sign up as a follower. All that helps me move along in this business, and I so appreciate you guys joining in. I hope you learned something tonight. I hope you had some fun, and I hope I didn't mess up too bad and things that I say, and not being, you know, just perfect with everything all the time. I definitely had a few blunders this evening, but it all turned out. So thank you so much, and we'll see you guys soon. See you in the next video. Thank you, guys. Bye.